and welcome back to Spiritually Speaking. I'm Skyla, and Danielle is back. I think she's just a permanent guest. She's not really a guest anymore.
I'm a co-host at this point.
She's a co-host. Yeah, because she's just too amazing, and we have way too much to talk about. So today we're going to get into a couple different subjects, but the first one is going to be anxiety versus intuition, and how to tell them apart, and how to listen to your body when you feel anxiety and when you feel intuition, and how to respect each one as they are.
I like how you said respect each one, because I think like people get really overwhelmed with anxiety, and I 100% relate to that.
Oh, same, yeah. Me too, absolutely.
I used to have like panic attacks to the point I would pass out.
Oh, wow.
So I totally get it. I'm not judging anyone.
Yeah, no, anxiety is something I think like the most confident, self-aware person deals with. And it's just how you deal with it and noticing, oh, hey, I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling this, versus this is what's happening to me and you can't control.
Yes,
what's
identifying
going on
with it versus just feeling it and letting it pass through you. I was actually just listening to like a podcast or something, and this girl was talking about how she's learning Arabic. And she really loved the way that they talk about feelings, because when they're angry, they don't say, I'm angry. They don't say, I am this. They say, I have anger passing through me.
Yeah.
And that just like, she was talking about how like the English language is kind of set up to allow us to identify with our feelings rather than noticing them and like letting them pass through you. But I thought that was like a really cool thing that she said, like, I am having, or what was it? It's passing through me.
Passing through me.
Yeah.
Well, it's really funny too, because I have a friend whose native language is Arabic, and she chooses, when she's expressing her feelings, she chooses to express her feelings in English versus Arabic, because she feels like there's more descriptive words to describe how you're feeling, and you're able to label it or whatever, all these things. But I think I said in another podcast that like anger is sad's bodyguard. Like you never, like all your emotions, whether like you might be feeling them, but you are not them. You are experiencing this emotion. You are experiencing the anxiety in the situation. And most of the anxiety isn't actually the current issue, the current thing you're going through. It's something that you wish you could change about the past, or something that you're dreading for the future. And like if you try, like most of the things that you're anxious about don't ever happen.
Well, and they're not happening right now in the present either. But like anxiety, and the reason why people get so overwhelmed with it, I think, is because like our ancestors developed anxiety as an evolutionary tool, you know, because like there was real predators, you know, like there was real things in like our human past to be anxious and be like having all this like feeling towards, so that you know it's like a good idea to escape that situation.
Like
right?
now we get the same like biological response as if there's like something chasing us in the wild too, we're late for work. Like
literally,
it's ridiculous.
Like it's supposed to be we evolved to this level of anxiety to keep us safe from actual predators.
And we don't need that anymore.
And we don't need that. But it's still in our like biological makeup that we just have this thing. So it's funny like how the more that you understand it, you can use it as a tool though. Because
absolutely,
like I said, it used to cripple me. I would literally pass out and have the worst anxiety up until I was like in college. I think it started to dissipate a bit, and I started to really like learn how to breathe. That's the number one thing. I think when you're so caught up in your head, you don't even notice that you're like having shortness of breath and like all of these things. So breathing would be my number one tool to recommend to anyone who has out of control anxiety. Find like some breathing practices, breathe through your nose, breathe deep, and just try to calm your mind. But
focus on the actual issue, like the actual issue, not feelings that are coming up from something else. Like break down the actual thing of what you're anxious about. And I've noticed for me, when I break it down, whether that's writing it out in my notes on my phone, and when I actually break down the issue, the anxiety kind of just dissipates, because what I'm actually anxious about is kind of all these other things. It's not, it's like, oh, this could happen, and this could happen, and this could happen. It's not, this is what's in front of me, and this is what I'm doing right now.
It's always what if this, and what if that, and what if this.
And like the likelihood of that happening is just so small compared to the things that actually happen. And like anxiety is coming from a place of fear. It's coming from a place of stress. You can feel it in your body. And that's the difference between intuition. Intuition is a knowing. It's a deep knowing. It's supposed to feel calm and grounded. That's what intuition is. Anxiety is coming from a place of fear where you're uncomfortable in your body. You're uncomfortable in your present reality.
Yeah, anxiety is fear and intuition is faith.
Yeah.
It's like putting your faith over your fear is what's going to allow you to have that dissipate because, you know, and we've talked about this before, but like just focusing on what you can control is so important. And I've heard this quote too, where like anxiety is living in the future and depression is living in the past. And so like when you're constantly focused on all of these future outcomes, like you were saying, you know, it is very overwhelming. So if you just, like you said, isolate the problem and then think about the best outcome.
Yeah.
Why like keep in your head and over repeat and all of these things, the worst other possibilities? Just think about the best one. And if it doesn't go that way, you gotta pick a different path and move a different direction. But if you just picture the best outcome, try to have faith in it, it will most likely go better than you expected.
Yeah, well, and it
might
changes
not go the
your reality.
best, but
changing that, you know, thought process of what can go right instead of what can go wrong.
Yeah.
Like that changes your whole reality. That changes your whole day. Just thinking of what could go right. And then maybe, you know, it doesn't happen exactly that way, but maybe something better happens. But if you're putting your focus and your energy into something going right versus something going wrong,
it feels good.
yeah.
Like it calms
When you're gonna
your
find
nervous
it.
system.
If you're looking for something bad, you're gonna find it. I think it was on like Joe Rogan or Theo Vaughn or something where someone asked, oh, like find all the green in the room. And then they looked around, found the green, and then it was like, okay, so how much red did you see?
And they're like,
I didn't look for red, so I didn't find any red. And it's like whatever you're looking for, you're gonna find. And whatever you're not focusing, you're gonna miss. You're just gonna miss it. And so it's way better to focus on the positive than the negative because most of the time it's not going to be as negative as you think it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that literally comes back to the quote that we wanted to share. Like, if you continue to think what you've always thought,
Yes.
you'll continue to get what you've always got.
Yeah.
So if you're stuck in like a hole or a bit of anxiety or a bit of depression or, you know, whatever you're facing, if it's continuing and you're like, how do I get out of this? It's like, well, you have to change how you think.
Yeah.
You have to change how you respond. You have to change what you expect and like where your faith lies and, you know, just all of these things. You can't just keep doing the same things every day and expect a different result. That's like the definition of insanity, right?
And whatever you're not changing, you're choosing. I love that quote. Like, I love that because if you're not putting in effort to change what's going on, shut up.
Yeah.
Stop complaining
You're choosing
about
it. Like
that's what you're choosing. You're choosing to go into this. You're choosing to go into that job. There's always a choice. Whether your whole life falls apart, that's a choice. And you're going to develop and you're going to grow from that. And sometimes you have to hit rock bottom to get back up.
Of course.
And that, I mean, I think I've been dealing with depression and all these things, but it's like I was trying to change things, you know, changing things about it, seeing what works for me, seeing what doesn't. But you have to change your reality in order to see growth.
And your habits. I think like you are your habits. Your habits create your personal reality, which in turn is like your personality and all of these things. But it's like, I was just having this conversation with my mom because she's making some changes right now. And I'm like so proud of her. And I'm like, but you know, like you can't just do the same things once you get to this new environment. You know, like just because it's a new environment, and I'm very happy for you that you have this new environment. But if your habits are the same,
you're gonna stay the same,
and
you're gonna go right back to where you were.
She's like, I'm just so miserable right now, and I'm excited for this, and it's like, well, the miserableness is you.
Yeah.
So if you don't change, like, you know, the little things, I'm like, just wake up and stretch your body, go for a long walk. You know, I was like, maybe you should get a dog. You know, or something that like brings you joy and like creates new habits for you. Like it's something new, something you can change that like, great, you're changing your environment, but it's the little tiny things.
Yeah, and even one thing a day.
One thing, that's what I was trying to tell her.
Get up, stretch, you know, go for a walk, go outside for 15 minutes, whatever it is.
Journal.
Do something
You're
different.
good about that.
Yeah, I fall off and on, you know, And recently I just haven't been, because I've been so tired with the travel in the different time zones that
You've been traveling
hadn't done it.
an insane amount.
Yeah. And
You can give yourself grace on that.
A bit tired, but I am, and I recently got back into the gym, which I had like a medical thing that I wasn't able to go for a bit, and that's been, a journey for me trying to get back into where I was, because I am the best version of myself when I'm working out, when I'm journaling, when I meditate, because I'm the most present version of myself. And I notice so deeply when I'm not doing those things. Like I'm angrier quicker.
Yep.
I have less patience. I'm, just not as like level-headed as I would like to be. And I'm constantly striving to be the best version of myself. And I know those things that I do are the best version of me. And when I work out, I have more energy, which doesn't make sense.
But it does.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
You work out, and then if you don't work out, I'm just like, I feel like a lazy lump on a log. And I just can't do anything.
Like, you would think if on days where I don't work out, I have no energy, but then I'm like up late because my brain is still like active or something. And I've been getting really back in the gym. It was kind of hard for me starting this whole new position. I've never worked a 9-to-5 before, and now I do. And so
she works here now. She works at the company now.
I work here now. So yeah, I think it was a hard adjustment for me because now I go to the gym in the evening, and I used to like wake up at like 10 a.m. and go to the gym at like 10 a.m. And now difference. I have to be here before then. So it's been a bit of a change, but I'm finding back my rhythm, and oh my gosh, I cannot agree more about the energy thing. Like, never working a 9-to-5 and then going into work a 9-to-5 and I'm not going to the gym. I was so like lazy during the weekdays. And now I notice when I go to the gym after work, I'm like, oh, I know when to cook dinner and like clean up a little bit.
Yeah,
and, like,
it gives you like a purpose of you're like, this is how my day's gonna go. And it gives you something to look forward to, whether that's in the morning or at night. It gives you a constant thing that without question, this is what I'm gonna do. And I feel like that gives you stability, knowing certain things that you're gonna do during the day.
It also helps anxiety. Like going back to the first topic, because like you said, when you work out, like you don't get like as agitated and like you're getting a lot of energy out when you work out. So it doesn't,
and sweat and toxins and just getting energy out of your body.
Boosted and all of these things. And it genuinely does help you think more clear, like be more present, not be so fearful of the future. Like I could not give working out enough flowers, honestly. It's like the most diet, I guess, is probably number one, but number two, like best thing you can do for yourself besides, eat whole foods and like eat food that doesn't have a label on it, focus on that. But other than that, I think the number two thing in life that you should focus on is finding some way to expend your energy. You don't have to go to the gym and lift weights. Find a dance class you like, find a hike you like to do, or, something that just expends a lot of energy and you're doing it to yourself. That way when outside things come in and try to mess with your energy, you're like, I've already got this. Like I already put myself through it today. So I'm not as affected by
and it's not about looking a certain way. It's about feeling a certain way. Working out is about feeling your best. It doesn't matter what weight on the scale, whatever it is, it's about fueling your body and taking care of your body and giving back to your body that does so much for you. And I also feel like the gym tests my anxiety, and it's like a safe place to test my anxiety, because like if I'm going to a new gym or if I always get super anxious because I don't like walking around trying to find a machine. Like that stresses me out. But I'm like, this is a healthy anxiety, because does it really matter? No. But I get anxiety about it, so I'm just like, why am I feeling this way? And I feel like it's a fun little test to understand how I feel about it. And it's like, well, why? And it's like, well, I don't want people to think I'm working out wrong. I don't want people to come like correct me. I don't want to look gross and sweaty in front of people, like whatever it is. But it's like, it doesn't really matter. So it helps me like overcome that little like bit of anxiety. Like I hate new gyms. I despise new gyms. It freaks me out to the max.
That's so funny to me.
Yeah, I hate it. So I go to my little gym at my apartment, and it's a great gym, but like I see the same people in there all the time,
so
and it's
like
comfortable, safe, and I can like do my thing, and I can like try new workouts where I probably look real weird, but I'm just like, okay, it's like a safe place. But like I go to like EOS or something, hate it. I hate it.
That's so funny to me. I would not imagine you feeling like that.
No, because I'm good at just like letting it pass and identifying it and saying, okay, like I don't this is unreasonable.
Well, I think
noticing it's happening.
That brings up a good point, though. Like, not identifying with your thoughts.
Yeah.
Because, like, your thoughts they're just, like, information flowing through you. They're not actually yours, and you can change them. And you have the ability to change them. You have the ability to change anything in your life.
Yeah.
Like, that's what that quote was saying. Just because you've always thought a certain way doesn't mean that's the way that you always have to be. But you have to change the way you think and be active in noticing, like, whoa, I don't want that thought. Like, that thought doesn't make me feel good. It makes me feel anxious. Like, okay, how can I think about this in a different way? And you have to, like, actively, do that.
And
like,
reprogram. You have to reprogram your brain. If you don't like the way your life is going, reprogram your thoughts, reprogram your brain, reprogram the responses you have to people. I actually use ChatGPT with this a lot, and it's been teaching me a lot. Where, like, if I'm having, like, a debate or an argument or something with a person, I will type it all into ChatGPT and say, how would a healthy person respond to this? Right?
Wow.
Like, how would somebody who's emotionally stable and whatever respond to this issue?
Okay.
And
that's a game changer.
It is a
never done
freaking
that.
game changer. I do it with arguments with my mom, with our boss, with like anybody, because I'm like, how would somebody who's like emotionally secure, not trying to criticize or, demean this person, how am I supposed to come across where I'm not attacking this person? And like, sometimes I'll like put text messages in, or I'll put a conversation in, and it'll show me a different way because I'm trying to be that version of myself. And I've noticed that because I'm learning how to respond, people respond in a different way because I'm responding in a different way. And
it's
like,
so true.
Even my mom, like, my entire life, she's been responding a certain way because I've been responding a certain way. But then if you notice that you respond a different way, everyone else responds a different way, and it changes your reality based on how you respond to situations.
That is such a great tool. I have never thought to help, because I get anxious about certain things. It's usually like romantic flings or something.
I use it for that too.
I get like,
yeah.
I get just like responsive, instead of like really thinking about it. So I should use this as a tool. That's such a good tool, and I should use it with my mom too.
Because I want to be healthy,
I want
people
nice.
to. Yeah, I want to be nice. I want to be nice, and I want to be healthy. And I'm like, should I really say that? Probably not.
Yeah.
And it just like, it gives you, and it'll give you options too.
Yeah.
About like, if this is one way to respond, this is another way to respond. This is like a more direct, less mean or something, which is fine. And you can like prompt it in different ways and be like, oh, well, I really like that point, but I don't like that point. And it's like, it's just like a therapist that you can just talk to at any point about anything. And I feel like that's helped me a lot, especially like entering a new relationship where I'm like, I want to be somebody who is able to like have a discussion about things, and especially like over text, like with anybody, I think, because your words can be so like misconstrued, and your tone and stuff like that.
There's no emotion behind it, and it's texting is hard, especially in new relationships.
Yeah.
You don't know each other enough to like hear their voice when they're saying it and like understand what they
You're like,
mean.
they said this. Should I be freaking out right now? Like, and it's like, probably not. Calm down, girl.
Maybe that's just the way he talks.
Yeah, maybe you're fine, and there's no reason for you to be just spiraling right now.
Like, I need to start using this. Okay, I'm sending chat. I use Grok though, by the way. I like Grok better than ChatGPT.
I've never used Grok.
Or Ask ROI.
And I use Ask ROI too.
Use Ask ROI.
Yeah, it's still like developing in certain ways where I prefer ChatGPT for that specific thing. Yeah, the quickness and like the thought responses and stuff like that. But yeah, anxiety's been such an interesting thing to overcome, because just because you're feeling something doesn't mean you have to be that. And you can feel anxious and still pretend like you're not.
Yeah.
And not let that version of reality take over your time and take over your experience with somebody just because you're anxious. And anxiety, I think, is fuel, because it's telling your body, hey, this is uncomfortable, this is new. And I also like to, you know, like test my anxiety like that. Like go eat alone. Go do something that makes you uncomfortable that you wouldn't normally do.
Uncomfortable
get
because
comfortable
life
being uncomfortable.
is not comfortable.
No.
And if you're comfortable, you're not moving in a positive direction.
Yeah, you're not.
If you're comfortable, you're stagnant.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and if you're not going forward, you're going backwards. I don't believe in mediocrity. I just like, I think if something's not helping you, it's hurting you. And so like, yeah, if you're not comfortable being uncomfortable, you're gonna be very stagnant in this life. So you might as well just face the fear, do it anyway, and then just once you're there, like you said, like if you're afraid of going to eat alone, once you're there eating alone, you're like,
this isn't that bad.
This is actually kind of chill.
Like pick something, whether that's once a month, once a week that makes you feel uncomfortable, and go do it. Because your confidence level and like the way you feel about yourself will improve so much. And even if it's like you're so anxious, like do it once a month. One tiny little thing.
Or find a friend who's comfortable doing that and will bring you with them or something, or, you know, find someone to help you. It's like with the gym thing, you know, my friend that I went to the gym with yesterday was actually telling me she never goes to the gym to lift. She goes to the gym for the workout classes, she does Pilates class, she does like, you know, classes, that's her thing. But she never goes to the gym to lift, same reason you said. She was like, I feel like people are watching me. I work out with Sean, so she was telling me towards the end, she was like, I loved going to the gym with you. Like, you know what you're doing. And like, I've been lifting weights for 10 years now. Yeah. Literally 10 years now, at least, maybe 11. So I'm very comfortable in the gym and I'm very comfortable with my form. And so she was like, I was so nervous and I don't even know why. Like, just being with you has helped me. So find a friend, you know what I mean? If you are super nervous about this one aspect of things, find a friend who's confident in doing that, and then you can take a little bit of their energy from that, you know?
And somebody who's really your friend will never make you feel bad for being anxious about something. And if they do and tell you, like, basically you, like, there's no reason for you to be anxious, you know, if they don't, like, validate how you're feeling, they're not your friend.
Yeah,
you know,
that's not your friend.
Someone's allowed to tell you they have anxiety, and it's not your job to fix it. It's your job to be there with them.
Yeah, and just walk with them. Yes. That's the thing. And a real friend will. Like, a real friend will walk with you and want to. And, like, especially, like I said, if you find a friend...
It makes you feel good. Yeah. Like, when you can help somebody else feel more confident about something,
I felt
it
so
makes you feel good. Yeah.
Of course. Yesterday, I wasn't like, she doesn't know how to go to the gym. I was like, oh, yay, I'm so glad I could do that for you.
Exactly.
Like,
so glad you can help. And, like, be a good friend and be able to lift them up and support them. Like, that's something that is a real friendship. You should be able to lift each other up where someone else lacks. You should, you know, be able to lift them up and whatever.
That's kind of the point,
Yeah,
right?
that's the point of friendship. You're not supposed to be the same. You're not supposed to be good at all the same things. You're not supposed to have the same opinions about everything. Like, it's, yeah.
Well, you know, some people suck though.
Some people do.
And you should get those people out of your life.
Get them out.
If they're not supporting you, don't feel bad about cutting them off. They're not worth your time,
and
I promise.
May suck in the beginning, like cutting them off, but once they're out of your life, like energy vampires, you'll realize you feel so much better with them out. Even if it initially hurts and sucks removing them from your life, in the long run, it'll feel better. So much better.
Yeah, not everyone deserves a seat at your table.
No.
And you didn't work, you know, your life to get to where you are, to have people pulling away from the table that you built and the food that you cooked to eat. You know what I mean? It's like, if they don't deserve a plate, then there's no reason to cook for them. Why are you cooking for them?
Nobody above you will ever bring you down. Only people below you will try to bring you down to their level. So if you have a friend that's constantly telling you your ideas are shit, you're not gonna make it. You're like, that's not your friend. That's not somebody you should have in your life.
For sure.
But that's something. I mean, I struggled with that for like years and years, just because like I wanted to fit in. So it was like, okay, like maybe these people are right. Maybe my ideas are stupid. Maybe I don't know how to do this. But it's like, no, like someone. It doesn't matter if your idea is stupid. Let's figure it out. Let's figure out a better way. Like, I'm not going to tell you your idea is stupid. We're going to figure it out together.
Maybe just
like,
come up with a solution for them that helps them make their idea even that much more better.
Exactly.
Like, maybe the path that they see is not a great path to take and may not be successful, but if you think that, maybe you have an idea to help them go on a better path. And that's what like real friends should
Putting someone
do
down is never going to make a situation better. Like, it never makes anybody happy. It never helps any situation.
And the more like you take responsibility, I think this is like kind of the whole point we're getting to, is like, just take responsibility for your thoughts, for your actions, for the people you surround yourself with. Like, when you start realizing that you have this much control over your reality, it is kind of overwhelming.
Yeah.
And once you realize like, oh, everything I think and everything I say and everyone I hang out with and everywhere I hang out, all of these things actually create like the life I'm living. And so now you're kind of responsible for like thinking better, acting better, keeping better friends, being in better environments. And that's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure.
And so
own it.
Yeah, it's hard, and take it step by step, and like it brings us to our last point really, because it's like your brain is a muscle, and so you've built these muscles and these neural pathways that have led you to wherever you are right now. Wherever you are right now, every choice you've ever made, every action you've ever taken, every thought you've ever thought brought you right here, right now. So if you want to get somewhere else, you got to start training that muscle.
Yeah, and recondition it. Because I mean, even if you look at like communication, we all communicate with everyone else every single day. And we're never taught how to communicate other than our parents and our siblings and our teachers. So if we don't, and like, you know, as a kid, and it's like, if you don't like the way your parents communicate, if you don't like the way your siblings communicate, how are you ever going to change if you don't put new information into your brain?
Ooh, that's such a good thing. I never really thought of that. Like your parents, your siblings, and your teachers really do teach you how to communicate.
And if you don't
if they
like
weren't
that,
great role models,
like
then
how are you supposed to be any different if you don't know any new information? And so giving yourself new information and knowing, you know, different ways how to express your feelings. And, you know, if someone was always, you know, attacking you and you always felt defensive, then that's how you're going to be in every situation after that. Someone presses you, you get defensive. Instead of really like listening to what's going on, you have a reaction
because
based on your programming.
Or your teachers or whatever
based on your programming.
You. Yeah, that's such a good point, because it does carry on. It carries on with you for the rest of your life, how you learned to communicate and how you learned to respond to the environment that you were given.
Yeah.
It's very natural for you to always respond that way forever, unless you intentionally try to respond
and it's very intentional, and it's hard, and it's new, and it's like it's super uncomfortable to try to be like, wait a second, it's like this, you know, programming that's just there, and you're like trying to break it, and it takes a while. Like it's not something that you try one time and you're just like, you know, fixed.
That's say just it not takes how it like happens. 28 days to even create the habit. Yeah. And then after that, you have to like still implement it. Yeah. But it does like form a pathway, at least at that point where like when you come to that split, you can choose the opposite path. You know what I mean? Like it's more relative in your brain at that point. But like, yeah, I mean, you're not going to do something once and then automatically just every time that trigger comes up, you're walking down the faith path instead of the fear path. Like it doesn't just work that way.
Especially when like things are quick and it's like a quick, you know, argument. It's like your factory settings are going to kick in to how you respond to things. Yeah. But if you're just letting it and you just want to live that way, then like, I don't know what to tell you.
I've been really working on this with myself because I'm single now and I've been dating again. But yeah, I think I get like easily flattered. Like someone can love bomb me really easily and I will fall for it.
Yeah, that's tough.
And so I've really been working on like being patient and like not over texting and waiting to like hang out to have the hard conversations, and not like if I like match with someone on Hinge or something, you know, like I don't want to have a week or two of text messages where we're texting all day for 2 weeks before we meet. Like I don't even know if I like you enough to text you for 2 weeks. And like I used to be that way, and I'm just trying not to be that way, because it's like, let's just meet, let's feel each other's energy. If you know, we end up liking each other, great, and we can text some more. But like up until that point, I don't need to be like obsessed with someone because of the way they look on an app, or you know, because of the way they're texting me. It's like you can't feel any energy that way, and you don't know if you guys have a real connection at all. So I've been really just working on rewiring, like getting excited about someone and like what that means to me. Like just because I'm excited about them and they seem like a good person, that's great, but like just take your time. And I think that's what happened in my last relationship. We both got excited and we both just thought we found the one, and so we really rushed into things. And so I definitely learned from that to just like you know, just take things slow. If it's for your forever person, what's the rush?
Yeah, if they're your forever person, take your like, you should treat everybody as if they're your forever person.
Yeah.
Take it slow, you know, really get to know them, like get to know their reaction. And it's like me being in a new relationship, I'm like excited to get into an argument because I know it'll be a good argument.
Yeah.
And I know like it'll bring us closer together. Like I just think that like, I'm excited because I feel like it'll make us understand each other more. And that's crazy because I've never felt that way, but I feel like it's the healthiest relationship I've ever been in. It's very new, but it's like the one day that we do get into an argument, I know it'll be a great fucking argument. And we're both gonna be like, damn, okay, like I see you. And like, I'm excited for that.
I really think that's how it's gonna be too.
Yeah.
And I think like how you do argue in relationships does say a lot. Like as long as you guys are respectful of each other, hear each other's opinion. And I feel like everything that you've told me about this man, like he would be that way.
Yeah.
So it would be a good argument. Like you guys would be like, well, this made me feel like this. And he'd be like, well,
I didn't mean to make you feel that way. Like, I'm sorry. Like, this is how I felt. And like,
and it would be like good communication style.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for that because I feel like I've, you know, created this version of myself that's able to accept that type of love. And I want to give that type of love because I always felt like in relationships, I was kind of the one that was giving more than I was receiving. And that was something really big about, you know, me getting into a new relationship. I didn't think I was going to be in, you know, a relationship for a long time because I thought that what I was asking for was too much. But I'm proof that my standards aren't too much because I live up to my own standards.
Absolutely. And never, I've had like feelings of that as well where like, ugh, am I just like asking for too much? But realistically, I have met people and like you said, you're the standard for that. Like if
and
I
your
can
friends do it. Like,
if I can live up to my standards, if my friends can live up to my standards, why would I not expect there to be a man that can supersede those standards? Like meet them. You should be better than what I expect. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think we do tend to like sell ourselves short, but yeah, like you said, if you're a loving, caring, awesome person, you're great in relationships, like you take care of your significant other, then why would you settle for someone who's not at least you?
Yeah,
you know?
I don't know. But you
I've
get
been
so blinded.
Yeah, I've been there,
you get so
done that.
blinded. And like to take a step back and realize that like, these are the things that happened, you know, in past relationships. And I don't think any relationship is something to like regret because if you learn from it,
of course,
then A+. If you learn from it, even no matter how bad the relationship was, no matter what happened, if you learn from it and you're growing and you're choosing better for yourself, you should celebrate that.
I agree. I think relationships are such a beautiful tool. And I was just listening to this thing the other day. This guy I follow on TikTok, he had this beautiful thing. He does this thing where he's like, I asked God the other day, like he's talking about in meditations that he's in, and he asks God certain questions. And he asked God about soulmates. And he was saying how God laughed and he said, oh, everyone gets tripped up over having this one soulmate. But at the end of the day, you came to Earth with a soul tribe and you guys were born in different places with different backgrounds and different lives to live. But you know when you find each other. And you may be friends or lovers or try to love each other and fail at loving each other and all of these things. But the end goal of your soul tribe is to bring you home and to bring you back into who you are and to help you see for you and to remember where you came from and like where your soul is from. And so yeah, I just think it's a beautiful thing. And I sent it to like one of my exes too, because I'm like, you were this for me. And like, maybe, you know, this didn't work out, but you helped me see myself more than anyone ever has in this whole life. And so like, I'm just so grateful that you were like a part of my soul tribe and like a part of that journey. Cause like,
and I don't think there's one soulmate. I absolutely just don't think that's true. Because I have friend soulmates, you know, I have, you know, lover soulmates. My dog was my soulmate, you know, she just passed away. And so she was like a version of a soulmate for me.
Lexi.
You know, R.I.P. my little floof. But like, I think there's so many different ways that can show up in your life and you're limiting yourself by thinking it can only be one person.
And you're also putting a lot of pressure on that one person.
You are. Like one person doesn't have to fill your whole cup. Yeah. You can have a cup and all these people can throw into your cup to make it a full cup. Like you should never put the pressure on one person to fill your entire cup because it's unfair to them and it's unfair to you.
Yeah, 1,000%. And that's going to cause a lot of like disdain and just like resentment in
resentment.
your relationship
Exactly.
because you're like expecting all of these things from one person. It's like, well, maybe you should have some friends or, you know, other people, a dog or other things in your life that bring you that fulfillment. I don't need to fill every single thing that you need.
Exactly.
Like, I'm
and I
only
think
one
that's
human.
hard for people to understand is that there's so many different ways that people can show up for you, and one person doesn't have to show up for you in every single way and do every single thing right. So we covered anxiety versus intuition, which I think is just such a powerful subject, being able to feel your body. Anxiety is coming from a place of fear. It's your nervous system being uncomfortable. Intuition is a calm, grounding, not rushed feeling. You don't feel rushed to take action in intuition. You are calm and in it. When it's anxiety, you're rushed. I have to do this right now or this isn't going to work. Your body is in
fight or flight
mode. That's what anxiety is. And to be able to see the difference is really beneficial, I think, because intuition is a knowing. Like, the truth requires no belief. You don't need to believe it. You just know in your body.
The truth requires no belief. I haven't heard that.
Terrence McKenna.
I love Terrence McKenna.
Yeah.
I love that because that is so true. And I've even gotten arguments like with my most recent ex, honestly, about certain ways that I think. And I'm very scientific. Like, I have a degree in biochemistry. Like, I think very logically, and I do love when science backs up what I believe. But there are so many times in life where I know something to be true, and then later I find the science that backs it up. You know what I mean? And so it's like, it's very different to actually just know something. It's not about believing. It's not about having the proof on the paper. Like, you don't always need to have evidence to know that something's true. And it's inherent. They call it like Akashic records, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and sometimes you need to move forward to get the clarity that you're seeking. You have to go through with it to get the clarity. Otherwise, you're just going to be stuck in this area of what's going to happen, but you have to make a decision. And then it's going to be, was that right? Was that wrong? But you won't get there unless you move forward.
Yeah. And I think, you know, a lot of people do get very, very stuck and would rather just like not make a decision in fear of making the wrong one. Yeah. And I personally just am not afraid to fail. Like, I've never been like, oh, I don't want to try that because what if this happens and what if this happens? It's like, I'm just going to do it. If I fail, you know, then I'll learn something and I'll have new tools in my toolbox and it'll be fine. Yeah. But there's people, you know, like my mom, who are just constantly in fear of like everything. And instead of making any progress forward, she just gets further and further back. Yeah. And it's like, it's really hard for me to wrestle. And I wonder sometimes how we ended up so like different. But I've been really working with her lately. She's been very sober lately, and it's been very wonderful. And so I've been able to actually have, you know, real conversations and try to just figure out why her mind is stuck in this. And I'm like, just, you know, do this one little thing. And I keep giving her advice, and she's been doing little things that I've helped her. And I think that helps so much to just, you know, just do like we were saying in the beginning. It's like, you don't have to make this big life change all in one day. You're never gonna actually make a change if you try to
setting yourself up for failure doing that. It's not gonna work.
Yeah, but if you make one little change and then that fails, whatever, you can find a different avenue. If you're not failing big, then it's okay if you fail small.
Well, I think failure has such a bad connotation because failing is a good thing because that's how you learn. Yeah. I saw this thing, I think it was on like Facebook, where it was like a parenting thing, because I follow all these accounts because I have like nieces and whatever, about like how to communicate with them. And at the dinner table every night, instead of saying like what went right today, it was how did you fail today? Ooh. And they celebrated their failures, because that is what made them move forward. And I love that, because then the children don't see failure as a bad thing. They see failure as an obstacle that they get to overcome.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a like great frame of reference to teach your children. Yeah. See, this is what we should be teaching children in schools.
Yes.
We should be teaching children how to understand their feelings, process their feelings, breathe, imagine. Yeah. I was listening to something, Jay Shetty, I think, was talking about this, and he was saying how he went to monk school and he was the like head guy was showing him through like the children, where the children come learn. They come at 5 years old. It's just like kindergarten, you know, that's when they start learning. And the first thing they're taught is how to breathe. And it's like, whoa, what a concept.
Yeah.
What a concept.
Crazy.
Like, why do we not learn real
Our school
skills?
system is so fucked. We don't learn anything useful.
We don't learn
anything useful.
Yeah, we don't learn anything useful. We don't even learn how to do our taxes.
Y equals MX plus B? I haven't used that shit once since I graduated. Once.
Y equals MX plus B is crazy. Yeah. But I mean, never have I ever used it. I was just seeing something, how back in the day, the teachers, when calculators came out, the teachers protested against using calculators because they thought that kids would like not be able to think for themselves, I guess, if they had a calculator. And like, remember when we were in school, the teachers were like, well, you're never just gonna have a calculator on you all the time. And it's like,
I always have a calculator.
My phone is always a
I always have a calculator.
I always have a calculator. So it's like
I'm never just like working out a math problem. That's not a thing. Never
unless you're working like in a field that you're doing like chemical engineering or something and you need math, like cool, great. Yeah. But like, why do I need to know calculus?
I know.
And I was so proud when I was in high school. I'm like, I'm in AP Calc.
I was not.
But yeah, school is funny. Anyways, you know, focus on faith over fear. I think that's the real message of this whole thing, because fear comes in so many ways into our lives, and it creates a lot of anxiety or depression or holding us back from what we're really trying to achieve. And I think in our hearts, we know what we want.
Focus on a calm nervous system.
And whatever brings you that.
Yeah, whatever brings you that. When you are flustered and you are, you know, anxious, listen to it, but don't be it. You should strive for things that put you in a comfortable nervous system, in a comfortable regulation. That's what you should focus on. Things that give you that.
Yeah, and it's not about feeling super high as much as it's not feeling about super low. It's about feeling like you can, as much as you keep closer to center, the more it's easier to get back to center. So if you're reaching these high highs and these low lows, it takes you a long time to get back up to the middle point, right? But if you just experience a little bit of high and you're like, okay, that was great, a little low, okay, I can learn from that, and you keep it more towards the center, then you're not so like causing all of these things going on in your head and your emotions and all of that. And another point is just like, use your feelings as a navigation tool. Don't identify with them.
Feelings are a tool to show you how this situation is like making you feel. It's not like, I heard this too, that like anger specifically, like you can't see your own reflection in boiling water and to like never react when you're angry because it's not actually the real version of yourself.
Very true.
And I love that too.
Very true. You can't see yourself in boiling water. I like that. That's a good thing to hold with you because when you respond, so like, okay, you have control over two things in life, your thoughts and your responses to those, like
that's it.
Your thoughts and your actions, right? So you have control over these two things. If you can dial in and think about your thoughts less angry or less flustered or whatever you're facing, if you can be more towards the center, more towards yourself before you actually respond, then you have control over your life.
And that's power.
Like that's
control is power.
Real power.
Being able to like figure out what's going on in your brain, analyze it, and then act on it, that's power. Silence is power.
Yes.
Silence
and taking
is power.
time to think before you speak. That is like huge. It's huge for me right now. I'm like relearning that too because just so many reasons, but I can tend to be a hothead sometimes, and I can tend to get like defensive very easily. And so like I'm just learning to, when I'm feeling like I just want to chew someone out or like react, in some type of way, I've just been learning to just like silence is power. And then, a day, 2 days later, if I'm still feeling that way and I want to say something and get my feelings on the table, obviously I'm not going to come at them in a mean way 2 days later. I'm going to be like, hey, this made me feel like this. And like, I just wanted you to know.
You're able to talk
that,
about
like,
it
it made me feel like this, So getting control over the space between stimulus and response. That's where you have the most control. That's where free will lives. That's everything, is the space between stimulus and response. And that's the main control you have in your whole life. So that's my advice to you, is just take some time in that space and do more things that bring you peace.
Yeah. Whatever it is. Find something, try new things, whatever it is. Even if it's...
Get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Go lay in the fucking grass. Go lay in the grass for like 10 minutes a day and feel the ground. Like, something so little that seems like insignificant can change your entire day. Like,
Absolutely.
I love talking with you because I just feel like we know each other really well now, but I always learn something from you, and I'm always able to, like, share my ideas, and we feed off of each other, and we fill each other's cup. Like, I love that. Like, we water each other, and I just absolutely love filming with you.
I love you too. I'm so grateful for our friendship, and I really do feel the same way. Like, I feel like our friendship came like very fast, and I don't think I've ever gotten so close to someone so quickly.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like, I feel like we're like best friends, and we have been friends for like a year.
If
Not
that,
even.
yeah,
we
if
like
that.
we didn't. I mean, we met like a year and a half ago, but we didn't even start being friends until like 8 months ago. Like, it's so crazy.
And now we see each other every day.
And now we're just best friends.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
But it's a great relationship, and I'm so grateful for it, and I'm so glad we have like a space to have an outlet for our thoughts and time to just help other people. Hopefully, the things that we've been through speak to others and help them think about their life differently and help them gain more control.
I agree. Well, stay tuned. I appreciate it.
We just did that at the same time. That was cute.